No matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up.
Caitlin Clark may have received an offer from Europe, one that could change the WNBA forever.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
The WNBA is scrambling as Caitlin Clark's move to Europe becomes increasingly likely. Maybe they should have thought about treating their biggest star with a little more respect. Now, Caitlin could leave a massive impact on the WNBA. Seriously, who is going to keep watching without CC?
I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete.
These are the people Caitlin had to deal with all season. You have no experience, you won't handle the WNBA. Look what happened. She stormed through the league, broke records like there was no tomorrow, and left the WNBA shaken up.
Sense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides.
These analysts left Caitlin no choice. The constant fouling, the animosity toward her. Enough is enough. It's time for a fresh start in a league that actually acknowledges its star players and doesn't let them get targeted.
NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I want to be like Mike. It was
Caitlin Clark has reportedly been offered an absolutely mind-blowing contract to play in Europe, and it looks like she's ready to take the plunge. But there's more to the story. Caitlin has had enough of the way she's been treated in the WNBA, and after enduring countless frustrations, she's finally making the decision to leave the league. The ripple effects of her departure could send shockwaves through the WNBA, shaking it to its very core. Despite all the attention, admiration from fans, and her undeniable impact on the game, Caitlin Clark has faced significant challenges in the WNBA. She's dealt with issues ranging from a lack of proper support on the court to the league's inability to truly protect its star players. These challenges have now culminated in what could be one of the most shocking career decisions we've ever seen. Caitlin Clark deciding to leave the WNBA behind for Europe. Let's be real. The WNBA hasn't always treated Caitlin Clark with the respect or care that a star of her caliber deserves. Whether it's the lack of protection on the court, the constant targeting by other players, or the seeming indifference from the league itself, it's clear that Clark has had enough. Time and time again, we've seen opposing players get away with excessive physicality when guarding Clark, frequently crossing a line with aggressive, sometimes dangerous play. It's almost as if the league has allowed these tactics to go unchecked, wasn't it?
Making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team.
You could even argue that the WNBA has let this behavior continue because they know Clark's presence on the court draws attention and boosts viewership. A little drama, after all, gets people talking. But for Caitlin, it's gone too far. The lack of protection has reached a point where it's simply no longer worth it for her. Caitlin has been vocal about her frustrations with how she's been treated, both by opposing players and by the league itself. Fans have noticed too. Social media platforms have been flooded with complaints from our supporters, who have been calling for more protection, fairness, and respect for their favorite player. Yet, despite the outcry, little to nothing has changed. The league's apparent indifference has left Clark feeling unsupported, almost as if they didn't care enough to make the necessary adjustments.
For watching women's basketball right now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me.
And now, after enduring season after season of being unfairly targeted and mistreated, Caitlin Clark is finally listening to her fans. She's had enough of the league's indifference and has decided to take control of her career by leaving the WNBA behind. Clark is seeking a fresh chapter, one where her immense talent, dedication, and impact on the game will be truly valued the way they should have been all along. Now, let's talk about the repercussions. The WNBA is on the verge of experiencing a serious downturn, and it's all because they failed to recognize just how crucial Caitlin Clark was to the league's success. With Clark gone, the WNBA is going to feel an immediate hit in both viewership and revenue. There's no need to sugarcoat it. Caitlin Clark was a massive draw for the league. Whenever she stepped onto the court, people tuned in. Whether they were die-hard basketball fans or casual viewers, they watched for one reason: Caitlin Clark.
She was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. They were turning, the Indiana Fever was turning away.
Now that she's leaving, the WNBA faces the monumental challenge of filling that gap. Sure, there are other talented players in the league like Dejounte Carrington and Angel Reese, but let's be real, they don't possess the same star power or magnetic appeal that Caitlin Clark brought to the game. And that's not to discredit their abilities, both are phenomenal athletes. But Caitlin Clark was operating on a completely different level. She wasn't just a player, she was a movement. People weren't just drawn to the WNBA, they were drawn to her. Her fearless shooting, ability to take over games, and competitive spirit made her a must-watch athlete. Fans didn't tune in to WNBA games for the league, they tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark play. With her departure, the WNBA is only beginning to realize the depth of the Caitlin Clark effect. Losing Clark means losing millions in revenue. Ticket sales, merchandise, TV deals, and sponsorships are all going to take a massive hit. And the worst part? It was entirely preventable. The league had every chance to make Caitlin feel valued, protect her on the court, and offer her the support she deserved as the face of the league. But they didn't.
Which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5.
They let issues fester, and now they're going to pay the price. Caitlin's departure signals a turning point, one that could have devastating consequences for the future of the WNBA. They're about to find out just how much they lost. So, what exactly has Caitlin Clark been offered in Europe? The numbers being drawn around are staggering, enough to stop anyone in their tracks. Multiple sources are reporting that the contract she's been offered far surpasses anything the WNBA has ever put on the table. In the EuroLeague, where players are treated like royalty, Caitlin is being given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not only will she be making significantly more money, but she'll also have the benefit of playing fewer games, allowing her more time to rest, recover, and perform at her absolute peak. The decision to move overseas practically made itself.
Team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games.
Europe isn't just offering Caitlin a contract. They're offering her the chance to become the face of the entire league. Picture this, Caitlin walking onto the court, the lights dimming as thousands of fans erupt into deafening cheers. The energy inside those packed arenas is palpable, every roar from the crowd reverberating through the stadium as she steps up to take a deep three. But this time, it's different. These fans aren't just there to watch a basketball game, they're there for her. The EuroLeague knows this, and they're fully prepared to make her the centerpiece of their brand, treating her like the global superstar she is. How does it feel? Do you care? It's not just about Europe providing Caitlin with a new stage to dominate. It's about positioning her as the biggest basketball star in the world. With packed arenas full of devoted fans who respect and celebrate her every move, it's clear that Caitlin Clark is about to step into a new realm of greatness. This is her moment, and Europe is ready to make sure she shines brighter than ever before. But Caitlin isn't the only one making major moves. Other WNBA players are also starting to follow the same path, seeking better opportunities overseas. Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith, for example, have reportedly decided to spend their offseason playing in China, while Caitlin is headed to Europe. This trend is rapidly growing among WNBA players as they realize that playing internationally not only offers significantly more money, but also provides better overall treatment. The WNBA's pay structure simply cannot compete with what international leagues are offering, both in terms of salary and the overall player experience. All of this comes together, and you need a star, and she is the star. Players like Caitlin, Kelsey, and Nalissa are seeing the advantages of fewer games, more rest, and higher earnings, making the decision to play internationally almost a no-brainer. When you compare the schedules, compensation, and player care offered overseas, it's easy to understand why more athletes are choosing this path. While all of this is going on, Jason Whitlock believes Caitlin should star in an unrivaled league, a league where the best of the best compete against each other during the WNBA offseason. This would allow players like Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith to earn their income in America instead of traveling abroad. An unrivaled league full of talent would provide players with better opportunities and allow them to benefit from the growing popularity of women's basketball. We have some incredible prospects coming through, yet they aren't going to receive the pay they deserve. Instead, they'll have to generate much of their income through sponsorships. But the idea of an unrivaled league adds a whole different dimension to the conversation. Back to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. This shift should serve as a massive wake-up call for women's basketball. The league is at serious risk of losing not just Caitlin Clark, but other top players as well. If the WNBA doesn't step up and reevaluate how they compensate and treat their athletes, they could face a mass exodus of talent. The reality is clear, players no longer have to settle for less when international leagues are willing to offer them so much more. If the WNBA wants to avoid an even larger talent drain in the future, they need to rethink their priorities, and fast. What's perhaps most shocking about this entire situation is that the WNBA didn't seem to make any real effort to keep Caitlin Clark. There was no massive offer, no grand gesture, nothing to demonstrate just how valuable she was to the league. In fact, they essentially let her walk away without a fight, and that decision is baffling. Clark had the potential to be the biggest star in American sports, a once-in-a-generation talent, and yet the WNBA allowed her to slip through their fingers. For a league that's been working hard to grow its fan base and compete on a larger stage, losing someone like Caitlin is a monumental mistake. The WNBA is undoubtedly going to regret this decision, and it's bound to hurt their bottom line. The Caitlin Clark effect was very real. She was single-handedly boosting the league's profile, attracting new fans, and generating excitement like no other player in recent memory. Clark was becoming a household name, bringing an unparalleled level of attention and energy that the WNBA hadn't experienced in years. Now with her departure, the league faces the harsh reality that they are no longer the top destination for the world's best talent. Other leagues are stepping up, offering better contracts, superior treatment, and fewer games, making them a more attractive option. With Caitlin Clark gone, the WNBA's claim as the premier league in women's basketball is now on shaky ground. They're going to have to work incredibly hard to recover from this loss.
This comes together, and you need a star. And
Caitlin Clark's move to Europe is about to shift the entire basketball landscape. For Caitlin, this is an incredible opportunity to continue her career in an environment where her talent will be fully appreciated and properly compensated. She'll be treated like the superstar she is, both on and off the court, and her game will continue to evolve on an even bigger stage. For the WNBA, though, this is an absolute disaster. They're about to see a sharp decline in viewership, revenue, and overall fan engagement. The league's failure to protect, support, and properly invest in Caitlin has led to them losing one of their brightest stars. And now they'll have to live with the fallout.
I said,
really, Molly?
Wow.
Caitlin's departure is more than just one player leaving. It's a symbol of the WNBA's struggles to retain top talent in the face of better offers and treatment overseas. The question now is, can the WNBA recover from this massive